G'day and welcome to another episode. My name is Daethstro, the Aussie Geek, and today we are looking at Power of the Primes Headstrong. So this is the first in a 6-part series that we are looking into Power of the Primes Predacons. I have recently, before this video has gone up, hit 25,000 views, and as a lucky dip basically decided, for 100 subscribers, I did Metroplex, and for the 25,000k views, I was going to do Predacons. So we will start here with Headstrong, and in some ways, the Predacons pull off better than what the Constructicons did. Admittedly, there were 6 of them. There's only 5 Predacons. But I would say that Tantrum, who I will actually get to in the next episode, who actually had a different name on this setup, Tantrum and Headstrong do have one massive downside, which does hinder them quite a bit. Now, the transformations are the same, but to be fair, I'm doing a video for each of them. So here is Headstrong. He is our Rhino, or as if we go by Fans Toys logic, our Unicorn. And there is his biggest problem, is his backpack. It is way obvious, and it's the one thing that Devastator has as an advantage to all the other combiners, is that they have long haul. Long haul is your midsection and your legs. So basically this would have been on long haul. Every other combiner uses their main leader as their torso. So like Bruticus, you have Onslaught, Aerobots, you have Silverbolt. In the case of the Predacons, you have Razorclaw, but to keep Razorclaw in size with everybody else, they basically put the thighs and the hips onto the back of Tantrum and Headstrong. So it does stick out quite a bit. It is big, it is chunky, and it is very obvious. It's part of the reason why when Zeta did Bruticus and Superion, I did not have an issue with the torso fragment. And then, of course, I started getting messages because I forgot to put my phone on to Do Not Disturb. So give me half a second. All right, so hopefully you didn't hear that ding, and now it's on. Now it's on Do Not Disturb. But I'm good. That's neither here nor there. I will say that the torsos and the heads on the Constructicons looked great. Overall, for the most part, these guys are big and they are chunky. As you can see, Headstrong here is literally carrying his foot as a weapon. Now, I admit prior to this video, I wasn't sure actually how this worked, but I have worked it out, and I'll show you in a second how it works. Now, I will say they all came with stickers that you could buy yourself, and I did say in the Metroplex video that in hindsight, I wouldn't have put anything more than the emblems on it. I agree when it came to Predaking as well, I should have only put these on here, even though I think it's Rampage has like a little Decepticon logo here, and he is starting to peel off a little bit. But we'll get to Rampage when we get to him. So as for how he carries his weapon, it's not actually in his hand. There is actually 2 tabs, or slits, one here and one here, and all you do is you use along here however far you want. So it's meant to be this way, so this is meant to be the handle. You put it anywhere along here, so however far back is, of course, how far back you want the gun. Admittedly, it actually looks better in some regard. It looks like it's just a shoulder launcher. It actually looks so much better as a shoulder launcher instead of it looking like he's supposed to hold it. You can articulate how you want. Now, as for these holes, these are supposed to hold the Predaking hands, but since I've got the upgrade kits attached to mine, they don't want to sit in too well. Also, I'm not going through the upgrade kits, so when we get to Predaking, I will put a link to all that information. I will just say that this once, so it will not be going through again. But yeah, you can, you know what, I'll put a link to the upgrade kit here, But after this, I will not mention the upgrade components until I either get to Razor Claw or when I get to the Predaking completely. So he does have this port here for a gun, and his shoulders are pretty strong. It does sit in there, but that's very tight, and yeah, I don't like that. So I wouldn't use that as a handle like it's supposed to. And of course, if you want to know which foot you've got, just use the ankle tilt. So that's his. I hope. I admit, like the figuring the names of most of the aerial bots, Tantrum and Headstrong always elude me to which leg's which. So I'm pretty sure I got the right one. I will correct myself if I have to. All right, so as for this guy, he does look good. I will say he's big, he's chunky, he's a decent-sized figure. So, once again, I believe that Hasbro should reissue all their tantrums, all their Titans again. Metroplex, Fort Max, Predaking, Devastator. They should, every so often, they should bring them out again because these guys are great figures. Yes, we got a new Motor Master, a new Menasor, which I think was too small. I think he should have been the Titan, not Cybertron Metroplex, but that's neither here nor there. And once again, I'm getting away from myself. So yeah, he has a big old leg on his back, and honestly, if you take that away, I think the back would just look really bare. Arms are very basic. He has no wrists. It's all just one solid piece, but I would say that the arms are more designed for combined mode and or animal mode. Once again, each of these guys, they picked the combined mode over the rest, which makes sense. But like I said, I would say that the robot modes and the beast modes are somewhat more intact than what the Constructicons were. So there we go. So as for articulation, his head can do a full 360, and if you want a sort of a He-Man-ish character, you can flip his head forward, and now he's Bullman. Arms can do a full 360. They go out this far. They have bicep rotation, ironically, at the elbow, because you can see the ball joint there. Elbow gets you up that far. As I said, no fingers, no wrist. Leg goes up this far. Yes, there is a lot of hollow gaps. I don't know if they ever made part kits to fill this in, but considering this is going into combined mode, it's not going to help much, especially since the way this transforms, that putting something here would actually make it more unstable. Well, not unstable, but basically the transformation wouldn't work. You'd have to use a slider instead of what they actually use. Leg doesn't go back very far. You literally have to use the knee joint there to get you that far. Leg goes out only that far and hits the side skirt. You do have hip rotation. You have a soft ratcheted knee that gets you that far. You do have ankle tilt that gets you that far. Toe doesn't go down. Toe goes up a little bit, but that's mostly transformation. Also, this tabs into, with this port, into just his butt. So, just try to get the legs out of the way so I've got a little bit of clearance. I think Tantrum actually plugs in a lot tighter. So, there we go. Just get his feet all worked. I think my pin, I think it's pins in his feet aren't quite strong enough, but he's mostly sitting on his backpack. That's pretty right. You can get an A stance out of him and everything. Anyway, so size comparison, here he is with MP10, and as I said, he's pretty damn big. He's a big bot. Even in just robot mode, he is pretty damn big. All right, so let's get him down into unicorn mode, right? Or rhino mode. If you do not get that joke, you literally have to watch my Fans Toys cassette review that I did a couple of weeks ago. Trust me, that the joke makes a whole lot more sense. Anyway, so as for transformation, we don't have to do anything with the head because that's all where it's supposed to be. You're going to bring the arms down And you're going to spin. No, I'm doing this the wrong way. You do have to transform the head. So you're going to rotate the arm back, and it's a double hinge. So you have here, and that's just going to slide down into there. Turn the head around. Do the same on this side. Bring that down so you don't have to worry about the elbows or anything. Then we have the legs. So I'm just trying to think how this works. We're going to need to bring that leg out just a little bit. But what you're going to do, rockets, I go. You're going to untab this. So this tabs into here. And that's going to flip all the way up. And there's a little port in here. It's going to tab into here. And same on the other side. Like so. And then you want to rotate the whole of the other side. And you have a port here. I don't know if you can see that. And everything becomes unfocused. You have a port here that tabs into here. And that has the leg where we want it. Same on the other side. Fold that up and tab in. Think I got it? No, I don't. Why aren't you tabbing in? There we go. So then what you have is you have these two pegs here, which are actually going to tab into this piece here. That's why you sort of have to move the leg out of the way. So then you can bring that down and everything just lines up. And we can turn the light back off. And then what we can do is bring the leg down from here, bring this down, and bring this down, and bring this down. And we have Headstrong in Rhino mode. And he's big, he's chunky, and honestly, I think the leg actually, it improves his size. So I don't think that necessarily was a bad thing. Now, I'm just trying to think, because I had a feeling this could actually go on top. I'm going to have to look at that transformation joint. Because obviously the foot goes on here, but I'm going to have to look. I'm pretty sure that was actually supposed to go on there somehow. I'm going to have to look at those legs in a second, and I'll let you know for sure. So, yeah. He's big and chunky. He's very restricted articulation-wise, but he's big and chunky. Of course, he's missing his tail. He ain't got a tail. So, take that for what it's worth. Head can do a full 360s. His arms don't move in or out now. Let's just say that's one piece. There's no shoulder. You can bend his lower leg, I suppose you'd call it. That much. And you can rotate it a little bit. Obviously, you can pop this out if you want and give it a wider stance. So you can actually have it there if you want, but just going to impact that. So it's up to you if you want to actually use that. But then, of course, then it restricts, try the word again. It raises up the front legs, so the lower back legs are actually shorter, so you'd actually have to start fiddling with that, but the legs don't go that way. As for the back legs, they can go up here, they can bend to the knee here, and they don't go forward. So just give me a second, I'm going to have a look to see if you can actually attach this to his back. So I did go and have a look at the instructions, and this does actually do that, kind of. So you have these ports here, and you want to use the ankle tilt. And what you basically want to do is plug these onto here. You get to plug it on the other ones, but it's probably a little bit wonkier. Is it that one? Nope, it has to be that one's. Seems a bit tight, is all. There we go. Well, that's really wonky. Let's try it on this side. It's a bit tight, but there you go. So you can actually do the original. I'm trying to figure out which one of my legs feels a bit short. So you can do the traditional-ish looking back weapon for the combined mode. For the animal mode, if you want. As for size comparison, there he is with Windblade, and as I said, he's big and he's chunky. He's pretty damn big. So apart from wing-wise, she probably wins from the front and back, side to side, but up and down, she's nothing. All right, so let's get this guy back to robot mode, and then we will get to combine mode. So we're going to unplug that again, and now it's stuck in there. Also, apparently I did the gun was right, but I had it slightly wrong. All right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to untab that again. I'm going to flip all this up into here. We're going to rotate this all down, like so. And then, of course, we're going to bring the legs down, and we're going to put that red port into that black hole. Sounds weird the way I said that. That just sits under. It's one of the issues I have with these stickers is anytime they put stickers on feet, you know, it always seems to be on the bottom. And same on the other side, providing things line up properly. And then we can plug that back in. And we bring out and around, out and around, and spin his head around. And there is Headstrong back in his robot mode. Now, how they were describing it in the instructions is you do basically the same thing I was doing before. So you plug that onto there. And the way they look at it, you're supposed to actually rotate it like this and hold like this. That looks, I don't know why, it just looks really dumb to me. So there is what that is. All right, so quick transformation back, but while we're at, we might as well just go straight into combine mode. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring his head forward because he doesn't need to go all the way into rhino mode for the most part. And we're going to bend all this up. So there's another piece in here, and that'll flip that up. And that is our knee. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring the arms back. And then what we're going to do is bring them down, and we're going to bring them in. So down, in. They don't tab in, they just sit there. And then what we're going to do is we're pretty much going to get his legs all the way back to what they were. So we're going to untab that and plug that in up there. And we're going to untab that. I'm doing this really awkwardly. And tab that in there. I'm actually probably going to need to not do that yet. And we're going to, you had, if you saw, these big old squares here. So they're going to, actually, I'll tell you what, I know what I can do. Fold them up so they're out of the way. Because they don't really cause any issues apart from trying to get these thighs out. Plug that into there. And providing everything straight. And then situate it down. Just line everything up. Give it a squeeze, push it in, and then get those hips into place if they're not already. And there is Headstrong in his leg mode. Forgot a step. One slight step he doesn't need yet, but I'm going to do it anyway. We're going to rotate it this way and bring that down. So that's your hip. And I'll just angle my camera a bit better because I don't know how my tripod's got wonky. But there we go. So that is Headstrong in his combine mode. And I'll try to do this with each of them, but here he is with MP10. And as you can see, just from foot to hip, he's already taller than Optimus Prime. So if that's how tall he is from foot to hip, wait till I add the rest. So there we go. So if you liked this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, give me a thumbs down. I promise you it will not hurt my feelings. Subscribe, ring that bell, leave me a comment. But apart from that, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.